This weekend, I ended up going to two different funerals. And at both of them, I had the same experience. I caught myself standing, looking at the photo board that they put up, in front. And both times I had the same thought. It's like, there's more to it than this. It's nice, but life doesn't fit on a poster board. So what do we really leave behind? The first funeral we went to was for my wife's Aunt Mildred. She had lived a long, faithful, and grounded life, laughing and loving right till the very end. And that kind of life doesn't make headlines, but it leaves deep roots. I looked around the room and you see friends, family, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Some were engaged in just quiet conversations off to the side, but for the most part, it was laughing and hugging, kids running around. And it struck me that the noise, the love, the laughter, that's the legacy. Not the dresses in the closet, not the drawer of jewelry she liked to wear, not the faded photos. The legacy is the people. The people she quietly poured love into for decades. That's what lasts. And so the next day, we went to another funeral, this one all the way over in Cleveland, a couple hours from us, for one of my wife's cousins on the other side of the family. He was closer to our age, probably pushing 70. And he was a different kind of man, different generation. But there it was again, the photo board sitting up at the front with all the pictures. And there are moments frozen in time, grandkids on his lap, fishing trips, vacations, old wedding photos. And again, I felt that same tug at my heart. You see, this whole life we live, it feels so big when we're in the middle of it. But at the end of it, it can look so small when it's laid out on just a couple of square foot of foam board on an easel up next to the casket. And yet, somehow it's not small at all. Because the impact we make isn't always documented in the pictures. It's in the lives that we touch. My son Jake brought his two little sons, Theo and Lucas, down for the funeral for Aunt Mildred for the visitation. And they were great. They were cute, they were well behaved, they were friendly. But then at some point, Theo, the 3-year-old, got a thought in his head, and before any of us could notice, he was off like a bolt, full sprint, through the lobby, out the front door. And of course, we panicked. It's like, Theo! And about the time my wife hits the door to go find him, he's already coming back, got 2 leaves in his hands. He saw those leaves, and it was just a treasure he had to get. And yeah, it's a moment of panic, but that's what life is. It's the messy parts, it's the unplanned parts. It's not the polished stories that we tell about it later. It's the unfiltered joy, the mess, the connections, the confusion. Lately, I've started thinking that this life we're living, as good as it is really just the warm-up act. It's a very short but sweet prelude to something coming that's going to be even better, something eternal, something promised. My personal belief, we really are headed for an eternity for God when we pass. With all our loved ones restored and waiting, and that makes the time we have here seem even more precious. And that reminds me to live gently, to live graciously, to count my blessings, and to trust that when we pass, the story isn't over. Those photos on the board up by the casket, They aren't the story of the life. They're just the story of the first act. But anyways, thanks for spending a few quiet evenings with me tonight in my ruminations about this. And if you've got any stories of loved ones that have passed on, I'd love to hear them in the comments. But even better yet, share those memories and stories with someone you love. Pass that joy along. And keep those good memories alive. So, this has been Opa's Evening Review, Gentle Words for a Loud World. We'll see you next time.